Hi guys, good morning and welcome to today's session. So in today's session, I'm going to be showing you how to update your records in HubSpot. When I mean update your records, if you had watched my previous session, I talked about updating your records. I talked about one of the reasons that can make an admin export a record or data from HubSpot, which means you can export your data to update or bulk update or change the values of a property. So you can decide to update your fields but with a newer values, and then you decide to export these records and clean this data, validate, confirm before you start updating to ensure data integrity. So I'm going to show you in this tutorial step by step on how you can update your records in HubSpot. So I'm going to be working with my previous data that I exported, and these are 10 records. And when we go to the segments that I created yesterday, we are going to see the list of records that I had exported from the previous session. And this is it here. I had to come back inside this segment and change the filter to use a static date, because when I created this segment, I made use of I can call it a variable. So I used today. It's created is any of today, which might change if a new day comes. So I have to change it to the actual date. And then we have these records here. So I want to update all the list titles to be in progress and all the property type to be terrace. And what we have to do is to clean the data from yesterday that we exported. So I have the data and I've currently cleaned all the data, but I still don't want to update the contacts owner. So I'm going to delete this, and then the list status should still be in progress. Do I need the email? No, I don't need the email, but I want to show you inside HubSpot that the email can serve as a unique identifier. When I mean the email can serve as a unique identifier, I mean that when the record type or record ID is not there, the email can be a unique identifier to match up the record in HubSpot. So let's go into HubSpot and import this record. And when you want to import your record as a beginner, you just go to this settings icon at the top, click the settings icon, and it takes you to the back end. Now, I've talked about importing from the front end and importing from the back end, but I prefer importing from the back end, which is the best practice because it's going to give you a holistic view of what you are doing. You will get better insights of what you are doing from the back end as an admin. So under the data management section, we click import and export. Management section, we click import and export. Now when you get to the import and export, you're going to see go to import button, and you click on the go to import button. When you get to the import button, you are going to select import data, because we are import a file, because we're using a file which is the CSV that we have updated. In my previous video also, I always use the quick import, and this quick import works for the contact only. But I want to show you how to do advanced imports, and I'm going to be selecting advanced imports. So this advanced import is a multi-dimensional because it allows you to import across multiple objects at a glance using one file, or maybe you can even use one Excel CSV and have two sheets where we have sheet 1 and sheet 2 in an Excel. So whatever your case may be, so long as you have cleaned your data and validated it to the template that HubSpot understands, it will be able to go. So I'm going to, for the first time, show you how to import and update records only. And then in another session, I'm going to show you how to import across multiple objects using one file or one Excel sheet. Now, I've selected contact, and then I'll click on next. And it's asking me how to import my contacts. Initially, the quick import doesn't ask you for this option. It just assumes either you're creating or you're updating. So this gives you the leverage to select either you're creating or updating contacts, or creating new ones only, or updating existing contacts. So in this particular step, I'm going to select updating existing contacts only. If I had new records that I have added to my sheet and I want to create new records of it, I'm going to use the create and update contacts, but I'm updating existing contacts. And when you are trying to create and update new contacts, you should be able to know that the ones that you are going to be creating will not have a unique identifier, which is the record ID. So it is only records that are sitting in HubSpot that should have record ID. You can't manually create it. It's by default created whenever you have created a record in HubSpot. So I'm going to select a file, and then I'm going to be selecting this file that I have updated. And do you want it to create contact to contact association? So if there is any linkage between two contacts, HubSpot is going to get triggered and then create it once you check this box, but I do not want that for now. So we click on next, and it's going to scan it for a few seconds to check if there are errors. I usually like to see errors because it gives you insight into what you're doing, and these errors helps you to actually understand how to solve issues, because the major work of an admin is to customize, configure, and troubleshoot. So, but as we do not have errors here, it doesn't mean that there are no errors. Now, the record ID here has not been mapped, and the reason is not throwing an error because the email serves as a unique identifier. So what they are seeing here is the email, and it says this unique ID property can be used to find existing records and update them. But I want to show you that the record ID can also be used as a unique ID, and it's also always the best for me because no two records can have one ID, but two records by import can have one email address. So I'm going to type ID here, and I will search for the record ID. So this is it here. And if you look at the details, it still says this unique ID property can be used to find existing records and also update them. So if you do not want to, we have the email here, the lead status, and the property type. So we're going to select next. And if you want to create a segment, create a list so that you can use it to monitor this, you can check this box and create a list of it. But I don't want it because I think we have a similar list sitting in HubSpot. So I'm going to select the legal basis as lead, and I don't want to enrich this contact. So I'm going to, so it's showing us that properties in your import are used in a workflow. So when you have referenced a particular property in a workflow, it's just going to show you so that you gain visibility into what you are doing. Probably you need to go and turn the workflow on so that the records doesn't get triggered, or the workflow doesn't get triggered, or the records don't meet the condition in the workflow, and then automations happen at the back when you are trying to import. So this is basis for them triggering or alerting you that this file has some field values in a workflow. Now, once you click on finish imports, there is no going back. If you're going to go back, if you need to go back, or you feel like you need to go back and revalidate what you have done, I feel this is the point you need to take a step back and then revalidate every single thing that you have done in your org. There is no integrity in moving forward when you are not sure. So please always go back and then recheck, revalidate, and confirm, so long as you are within the timeline for your delivery. Now I'm going to finish import, and we see whether we have errors. So it's going to show me what I have here. I have 10 import rules, which are 10 records, and I've updated 10 records. And you know, the previous import ID, when I was creating users, it showed me that I created 10 new records, and this always happens when I'm creating contacts, but for this it's showing that I have updated 10 records. Now I'm just going to go back to, it says that the import is completed with no errors, but when you have errors, it's going to show on this column. And I'm going to go back to my segment and then refresh and check what is happening to the records that I have updated. So the records at this particular time should be having the lead status in progress. So let's just open it up and then check it out. It's taking a little while. It's going to show up pretty soon. So here we have all the list status changed to in progress, not new or open, and the property type changed to terrace. So this is the entirety of how you will update your records in HubSpot.